Hi Femme founders, my name is Gia. Here is the ultimate video on how to be productive. And I'm talking children, a crazy schedule, a high-powered job, or if you are an entrepreneur and you need to get as much done as possible within the next couple hours, practice being productive. But you can implement this within your day as you go if you need it like right now as an instantaneous answer. First things first, when you're practicing being productive, try to do as much things on your list as possible. Whatever way that you process lists, I think the way to burn out a list is by just making like a straight list, 50 things or like 25 things that you need to do today. A lot of people do have like 25 things that they need to do today. I do. Break up that list into threes and section off that list. So if things are chores, if things are errands, if things are like work tasks, if things are grunt work that you have to do, that you have to micromanage, that you have to oversee, section them out. If they're grooming tasks, if you write every single thing on your to-do list, like I need to remind myself sometimes to drink water, I will write down or type out drink water. And I will also have an analog list because I process it better, and your brain understands when you write something, your brain has to understand it first before it writes it down. Or when you type something and take notes, it's not as effective. What you want to do is look at all the things on your list, organize them. This is the time to strategize and be organized. Say you have to wash the dishes and then you have to clean the dog, and then you have to also walk the dog, like take the dog to the groomers. Section out the things that are just for the dog. You want to section things that are just for the house. That's how you break down your list so you can focus on those things at that time when you are already focused on them. And the second thing is try to get all those things done as fast as possible. See how fast you normally work. And I'm not talking about a timer for the Pomodoro method. It depends also on what the things are on that list to implement the Pomodoro method. So the Pomodoro method, for those of you who don't know, is like when you set a timer for 25 minutes to focus on that said subject or task. And that doesn't work for me because when I'm in the zone and I need to finish something. That's like a perfectionist bad habit. When you can max out how productive you are, if you're sitting down and doing work or sitting down and writing or creating something from your mind onto the computer or onto whatever it is you're doing, like painting or whatever it may be, look at the time and see when you're tired. When you're tired is the time that you're not as productive as before. So I noticed that there's like a certain few hours, there's 3 to 4 to 5 hours on some days, usually around 5 hours, that where I can max out my highest level productivity, the fastest working that I can. And then after that, all the time that I'm working on that same task, that same project, I get slower and slower. It incrementally grows to like being 2 times as slow to being 3 times as slow. So if I stay on that project and I'm tired and I keep working on it, I will still be productive, but it'll just be at a much slower rate. When you find your average median of whatever time it is that you're the most productive at the highest level, prioritize your task on your to-do list. That is usually like an hour or like a couple hours within the time that you wake up. Prioritize the most profitable tasks or that are the hardest. When you focus on those and you get those done out of the way, you will not feel like any guilt or shame when you're kind of putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Or if you're just putting off doing the dishes, that's not as bad as putting it off getting paid. So like being able to have food to put on the dishes. When you're a freelancer, or when you're a solopreneur, when you're already a genius who already figured out how to have $1 billion, this is how to still like be as productive as possible. But even before then, another tip is to get up, drink something, whether it's a smoothie, whether it's a tea, whether it's a coffee, whether it's like half your body weight in water. You want to get your body like with a cold surge and charge and like to kind of wake up. Notice I didn't say take a cold shower, wash your face with water or whatever. Don't like brush your teeth. I'm saying like just straight up drink something. Worry about like washing later and get to work, and then you can. I'm the kind of person who will shower like after, but I try to shower early in the morning and like wash and get ready for the day. When your body feels like that surge of energy, you're not necessarily eating yet. They say you're supposed to like eat something like protein. I wouldn't start off my day with heavy food, but just like put something in your mouth to get your body hungry and to get your metabolism started is what they say. I personally just drink a coffee and I work hungry. So the next tip here is to work hungry. I will not eat like a full breakfast because if I eat a full breakfast, it takes a lot of energy to digest food. So you know how when you eat like a big dinner or a big meal or any meal, body feels, depending on if you take probiotics, you'll feel a little bloated, like you're a little tired, like you're sleepy. That's because it takes a lot of energy to digest food. You want your brain to focus on your task, not on digesting food. I'm not telling you to starve yourself. Get something, like a little bite of I don't know, not a cracker, just like something, like peanut butter, whatever it may be. Whatever works for you, that it's like a little bite of something healthy, but make sure that it's healthy so that when you are done being productive, it's time for an actual meal. Then you can enjoy that meal and you can be hungry, and your first meal of the day always has to be something that has like greens. That helps me. That has greens, that has like protein, that has whatever makes you feel good. And then I always have a smoothie, like a protein shake, or always with like a ton of fruit. I've been limiting myself to 1 coffee a day because my surgery, this is like the healthiest I've lived in a while, just because I'm recovering from surgery. It's also like the most productive I've been. Try to implement these things, see how you do. Not everything that will work for me might work for you, but just try them out, see what works and stick to it, and then like play around with it. It doesn't necessarily have to be in any order or that I suggest, but just try it yourself. Let me know if it works. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and follow me at Gia G. Dixon. And I have a new Instagram for Femme Founders Club to stay motivated. It's your daily dose of butt kicking. I will see you next time.